You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight.
Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight. Amid mass deportation concerns, law enforcement met with farm workers to answer questions and share important information. Then we learn more about how mental health calls will be approached by the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office from now on. ABC10 Plus Tonight starts right now. Tonight, the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office has a message for farm workers who fear deportation. Louise Magana, a farm worker advocate, says the sheriff met with them at a field recently, helping to make them feel more comfortable going to work. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias has the details.
Do not let somebody victimize you and scare you and say that we will call immigration.
With the help of translators, San Joaquin County Sheriff Patrick Withrow is speaking directly to farm workers after hearing concerns of immigration and customs enforcement visiting their workplace. Luis Magana, an advocate for farm workers, says he requested the meeting after hearing workers had seen ICE agents present at a field in Cortland in Sacramento County. But after some digging, Magana says the sighting was actually officials with local law enforcement. Magana says the sheriff was there by the river where the workers were pruning vines, and the sheriff's office had two white vans, and everyone started running to hide. Magana says there is so much panic right now, and immigrants can't tell the difference between agencies and the logos on their vehicles. This leads to confusion, but Sheriff Patrick Withrow says he wants residents to know they are there to protect them.
And I was worried that bad guys were going to try and take advantage of the situation and either pretend like they're ICE or victimize our citizens in just, a normal fashion, whether robbing or stealing from them or whatever, and then telling them, hey, if you call the police, they're going to deport you.
But the sheriff says that is not true, and they don't work with ICE agents. Magana says the farm workers now feel safer going to work. Magana says they were happy to hear the sheriff is not a threat. They are not immigration. They are cooperating with us, and that immigration doesn't have the authorization to enter a field because it is also private property. Sheriff Withrow says he's already planning similar dialogues with other groups and organizations, but let it be clear, they are still here to fight crime.
If you're victimizing people and drunk driving and all those things, you do need to worry about us because we're going to be out there fighting crime.
In Stockton, Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Magana says he's now working to request a similar meeting with Stockton police, since many of the farm workers live there. Stockton police say they do not enforce immigration laws, and they are willing to have those talks with the community and stakeholders to reassure them of their policies and stance. California's controversial high-speed rail project is taking more criticism tonight. Following President Trump's claims from the Oval Office, it's the worst managed project he's ever seen. President Trump criticized the project's schedule and finances, threatening to launch an investigation himself. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen joins us now with California lawmakers and a Central Valley mayor's response to the threat. Jeannie.
Laura, Trump's comments come around the same time the high-speed rail's inspector general released a new report stating the project is falling behind schedule. But lawmakers and the mayor of Fresno urge naysayers to be patient, saying this project will benefit the Central Valley and the state.
It's impossible that something could cost that much, and now it's not even going to San Francisco, and it's not going to Los Angeles.
On Tuesday, President Donald Trump criticized California's controversial high-speed rail project.
We're going to start a big investigation on that because I've never seen anything like it.
Many Republicans echo the president's concerns. Congressmember Kevin Kiley even recently introduced legislation to stop federal funding. But Republican Fresno Mayor Jerry Dyer says this project is crucial for the Central Valley.
Here's a reality. We need high-speed rail here in the valley to be able to connect us to the rest of the California economy.
Dyer says he understands the criticisms and would support any investigation from the president.
Why the cost overruns? Why the delays? I have those same questions, and I know the president has called for some type of a audit or a study to be done. I support that.
In October 2024, the High-Speed Rail's Inspector General published this report saying the current project from Merced to Bakersfield faces a funding gap of $6.5 billion and intends to fill that with federal grant funds. This week, the Inspector General released this report saying the project is falling behind schedule and will not meet its target deadline.
He hasn't seen the rest of the plan that we'll come forward with this year.
As a member of the California Senate Transportation Committee, Democratic Senator Dave Cortese has worked with Congress to secure billions of dollars to the high-speed rail project. If federal funding is at risk, Cortese says that will only be 5% of the project's total cost of $80 billion.
It would be hard to blame him if the project collapsed, because there's so much more money that's needed that California is responsible for raising outside of the federal government.
California's High-Speed Rail Authority declined an interview request with ABC10 on Wednesday, but pointed to recent comments where the CEO reiterated his focus on staying on budget and schedule.
Laser focused on building more and getting it delivered sooner, economically, smarter, and faster.
Now, we reached out to Congressman Kevin Kiley's team for an interview today as well, but his team says the congressman was not available, but says following Trump's comments this week, it appears the president will sign his bill to cut the federal dollars to the project. Of course, Congress would still need to pass the legislation. It's still unclear how the president plans to investigate the project. Laura.
All right, Jeannie, thank you. Keep us posted.
Welcome back. Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper announced a big policy change when it comes to responding to mental health calls.
The sheriff said the decision comes in light of a recent federal court ruling that found police use of force in such situations is unconstitutional. ABC 10's Luke Clary has the details.
Sacramento County deputies will no longer respond to non-criminal mental health calls. Sheriff Jim Cooper announcing the policy change this week, taking immediate effect.
Sometimes we introduce a badge and a gun in a situation, it escalates the issue, and we can't have that happen here.
He pointed to a Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruling in the policy decision.
Yeah, so he's got a knife in here. He's got a knife.
This incident in Rio Linda last year shows what happened when deputies responded to a reported mental health crisis. Christopher Gilmore, whose family says was suicidal, came out of his home naked, bleeding, and armed with a knife. He was shot and killed by a deputy. ABC 10 showed this surveillance video of the incident to Ed Obayashi, a law enforcement policy advisor.
My reaction was that, why are the deputies going to these types of calls?
He said then that law enforcement is not equipped to handle these situations.
They need to turn to the professional resources. Again, whether it's a suicide hotline, county mental health services.
Gilmore's family filed a civil rights wrongful death lawsuit against the sheriff's office.
Unfortunately, I can't comment on that particular one just because there is pending litigation, but I can say we definitely empathize that a life was lost. And us not responding to other non-criminal calls may prevent, other lives being unnecessarily lost.
Sheriff spokesman Amar Gandhi encouraging people to call 988 for this kind of mental health emergency.
We want to incorporate the county's 988 program, the community wellness response team that the county has in place with licensed and trained clinicians to go and provide them resources.
Luke Clary, ABC 10.
Sacramento County Behavioral Health Services said it was, quote, working closely with the sheriff's office and WellSpace Health on this updated policy and would continue to adjust its procedures as needed to ensure the uninterrupted delivery of 988 services while maintaining a safe environment for our team. Time now for Dollars and Cents. Tonight, we're wrapping up our series on New Year, New Money Goals with a viral budgeting hack called cash stuffing. It's getting a lot of eyes on social media, and it might be the thing you need to curb your spending and get your budget on track. Here's how to get started. No apps or high-tech tools required.
This week's cash stuffings, I have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130.
You've probably heard of the trend cash stuffing, but it's what I've been teaching for years, called the envelope system.
No matter what you call it, a lot of people online are talking about cash stuffing, the budget-making hack going viral.
What it is you take your budget and the categories you tend to overspend on and cash those out.
It's budgeting in its most basic form, literally stuffing cash in envelopes for specific needs.
Can you tell our viewers a little bit about what cash stuffing is and how they can get started and why they should do it?
Cash stuffing is going to be a little bit more of an old school way of, budgeting.
It's so simple to start. Get yourself a budget binder and a few envelopes and get to work. Figure out what you overspend on, like clothing or shopping, and make an envelope for that category. And then put a certain amount of cash in each envelope. And this is where willpower comes in. Don't spend more than what you've allocated for each wallet.
Once it runs out, then that's essentially all the cash that you had to use for that specific category.
It's a way to physically see where your cash is going and also curb online spending.
It makes it almost like a little bit of a game or more exciting when it comes to budgeting, because we all know we need a little bit of an extra incentive to actually stick to our goals.
So, if you're someone who responds more to the hands-on approach, this might be for you. Experts say it's also great for teaching kids about money. Cash stuffing is all about being intentional with your spending.
But it's not for everyone, and there are risks. Experts say having a lot of cash on you isn't the most secure way to store your hard-earned money. There's a danger someone could walk away with it.
And speaking of safety concerns, are there any other downsides?
Yeah, keep in mind, cash stuffing does take time, and that really is the point, Chris, to make sure you slow down, think about your spending instead of just clicking pay on a website. But if the effort is too discouraging and unmotivating, then another budgeting method might be more successful for you.
Look, your weather now. Skiers and snowboarders are taking advantage of the break in the weather. Listen to this. Palisades Tahoe got 17 inches of new snow in just the past 24 hours. And as we bring in Monica, I understand we have a little bit more in the forecast to come. A lot of bit more, as a matter of fact.
That is exciting. We are now in the calm before the storm tomorrow, right?
I feel like we're a broken record at this point. Calm, then storm. Calm, then storm. And right now we are preparing for more to come. Take a look at this 48-hour snowfall amount. 32 inches for Sugar Bowl. We told you about the 24-hour total for Palisades, the 48-hour total, 24 inches. You can see all of the ski resorts really benefiting from this latest storm. The first one that rolled through was a rather wet one and warm one. So we take a look at the rainfall totals. 10 inches for Redding in 5 days, over 5 inches for Auburn and Placerville, up to about 5 inches of rain. Vacaville over 5 inches of rain. That's an impressive total right there. Sacramento Executive 2.5, Roseville over 3 inches. Stockton and Modesto, we didn't benefit quite so much from the first round of rain that came through, but we did pick up some good rain coming in yesterday. That has led us to some flood stages, though. For the Russian River, we continue to monitor moderate flood stage. And then on the upper Sacramento River, minor flood stage occurring. And so we have some of those weirs. They're passive weirs. They just naturally flow over when the water levels get high. And so a flood warning in effect because those weirs are flowing. So use caution around the river, or even you might notice as you go over the Yolo Causeway, hey, we've got water in there right now. That's because the weir system is operating and functioning. Low pressure system guiding in this next round of wet weather coming our way. The cold weather already setting the stage for a lower snow level. Lows for today, 20s up top for the Sierra, 30s in the valley. You probably felt it as you stepped outside today. 50s for our highs down low, near 40 up top for the Sierra. Light the beam forecast is going to be a chilly night, 43, but that beam will warm us up. Come on, Kings. We'd love to see it with our new players in town. All right, Big Mountain Backyard. Right now, clear skies. We've got readings in the 50s. That sunset at 5:33. So we'll have about 10 more minutes of daylight. Tahoe right now, 39 degrees. Our snow level is going to be coming up and down the hill slightly. We're going to see it below the pass level throughout the course of this next storm coming on in, starting off at 4,000 feet up to 7, back down to 4,000 feet by Friday morning when we see the bulk of that snow coming in, totaling, again, about 8 to 18 inches for many of the places throughout the Tahoe Basin. And then for our model rainfall, this one a little weaker, about a half an inch or so down low, about an inch to an inch and a half in the foothills. And you'll see how this is coming in just after the morning commute. Thursday evening, we get a pretty good dose of rain coming through. It starts to break apart for the valley Friday, but lingers in the Sierra. And then it's going to be that low pressure system bringing us a chilly weekend outlook. Another low on the move. This is going to play in to our 10-day forecast. On the first 3 days of that 10-day forecast, we have our weather impact alert. Good timing here. We're dry for the weekend, albeit chilly with patchy frost. And then we'll start gearing up for perhaps another round of rain next week.
Oh, this is really well timed for anyone wanting to head up the hill and enjoy some fresh powder.
Yes. And we got Super Bowl weekend. Nice if folks have any parties coming up. No rain at all to worry about.
That's right. Okay. Yes.
Thanks, Monica.
It's a new era for the Sacramento Kings. Take a look. This is video of crews removing posters of former Kings star De'Aaron Fox off the buildings at Doco. Fox was traded to San Antonio earlier this week.
And as Fox leaves the team, a new player is starting tonight with the Sacramento Kings.
The team today formally introduced Zach LaVine to the Kings lineup.
ABC 10's Kevin John is live at Golden One Center. And Kevin, I know everyone is looking forward to lighting that beam tonight.
You know, Chris and Laura, you know that feeling you get as a child when you're going to bed on Christmas Eve and you got all this excitement and anticipation just going throughout your body because you know what the next day is going to bring. Santa's going to drop off some presents. Well, that's exactly how it feels in here right now. To everyone in anticipation of what's now. We already know what Santa brought the Sacramento Kings, of course, with Zach LaVine, but the excitement, the anticipation, you can feel it in the air all throughout the building of Golden One Center tonight. So let's talk about Zach LaVine. Who are the Kings getting in this guy? Well, earlier today, as you can see from this video, Zach LaVine had his introductory press conference with the Sacramento Kings. And Zach, he's not just any normal baller, okay? This dude is averaging 24 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And get this, he ranks 5th in the whole league in three-point percentage. So that's something that the Kings can definitely utilize. Now, Zach talked about the excitement of playing here. Take a listen.
Super excited. I'm back here on the West Coast. I'm 45 minutes from my house in Newport. So, you know, I know a couple guys on the team. Obviously, DeMar couldn't stay away from me for more than 3 months. So having guys that you played with or being familiar with always helps. And me and him have had a really good relationship. He's from Chicago even before that. So it's a seamless transition. Yeah, everybody's talking about lighting the beam, man. So hopefully we get this thing done sooner than later. You know, hopefully try to light the thing up tonight.
So as you can hear, Zach is looking forward to lighting the beam tonight, and Zach is not the only new face that the Sacramento Kings got. Just hours after his press conference, we learned that the Kings acquired Jonas Valanciunas, a 7'1" big man out of Lithuania, who's been in the league for the last 10 years or so. So the Kings, we still got until 12 noon tomorrow for the NBA trade deadline, and the Kings are making moves. Meanwhile, over here at Golden One Center, where the Kings are hoping to light the beam tonight, Kevin John, ABC 10.
Well, it has been a busy day with 2 news conferences and a big game coming up, and Kevin is tracking it all for us. Kevin, we thank you, sir.
Dusty Baker, certainly a well-known name across baseball, helped lead 5 different major league teams to divisional titles.
That's right, and ABC 10's Marcus Allen is catching up with him at the Baseball Legends West Sacramento Tasting Room.
Yeah, good morning, you guys. Just trying to keep calm, trying to keep cool and collected while sitting next to greatness. Dusty Baker, how are you?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing great, actually.
I love it. I've had the pleasure of talking to you a few times, and I always lead with the courtesy of Mr. Baker, and you say, man, it's Dusty.
No, Mr. Baker's my dad.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
There you go.
Well, hey, congratulations on everything. You deserve all of the accolades. How does it feel all these years later to look back on all of it?
Well, you know, I try not to look back too much. I try to look, you know, ahead.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's more for me to do ahead and more people for me to help. And so I just try to pass it on to, the youngsters of today.
Yeah, think about the people you're inspiring on this Black History Month. You are Black history. You broke a lot of ground. You paved the way for a lot of people when you say the next generation.
Well, you know, I don't think about it, actually. You know, I think about, you know, back in the days when I was lucky enough as a young kid to be around Hank Aaron, be around, you know, some of the Black greats, you know, civic leaders of our time, you know, the Jesse Jacksons, the Andrew Young, Maynard Jackson, just different people, especially in the South. And that was something that I didn't want to go to the South because that was a lot of civil unrest in the late 60s. But that was probably, not probably, but it was the greatest blessing that I've ever had. It taught me a lot about human nature, taught me a lot about myself, taught me how to be a proud Black man, and also, you know, to pass it on to younger people after me.
Way to represent and inspire. Now, what made you decide after breaking all of these records, after becoming a Major League Baseball great, both, you know, on both sides of that, coaching and playing, now I'm going to make one?
Well, you know, it just sort of happened. And, you know, I was on the Mondavi advisory staff, and I had a couple acres that I had bought when I came back home here. And, you know, my dad was was a gardener, the second job. I can grow almost anything. And so one thing led to another, and that's how we ended up with Baker Family Wine. Plus, we got Hank Aaron. You know, Hank forced me to be part of our company.
755.
Yeah,
You gotta represent.
Oh, yeah. And he told me, he said, hey, look, boy, I want to, and when he called me boy, that's when I got to listen.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
yeah, that's what I said. Yes, sir. And so, you know, that's what I'm proud for Hank.
And now, Valentine's Day weekend, this big pickleball celebrity tournament.
Yeah.
You're the official wine of the tournament.
Yeah,
Are you
well,
going to play?
No. My playing days are gone because I've talked to some doctor friends of mine, and they say, man, they are busy with all these pickleball injuries. So I'm just going to watch and maybe have a little wine.
My playing days never arrived, but I'll see you at the tournament anyway.
All right.
All right, there you go. Baker Family Wines, Dusty Baker, Black History Month, and pickleball tournament. Again, I think we covered it all.
Oh, yeah.
Back to you.
All right, thank you, Mark and Dusty. Always good to see Dusty. Officially Johnny B. Baker Jr.
Thank you so much for watching ABC 10 Plus tonight. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere you stream on your TV. I'm Laura Painter. Take care. See you next time.
Trust isn't given, but earned. It's built every day by doing the hard work, putting in the hours, doing the research, holding the powerful accountable, and being there when you need us most. Working hard to earn your trust every day, every newscast, every story. Watch weeknights at 6 or stream live on ABC 10 Plus.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.